Hey traders, this is Ron Haight. Hope you guys are doing great. As always, nothing in this presentation shall constitute a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Trading stocks and options involves risk and specific financial issues. Should always be addressed with your financial advisor. We'll kick off here with the SPY. We were essentially flat today. Here's the spiders. But what's even bigger news is after the bell, we have Apple and AMD. And right now, as I do this video, it's about 4:45 p.m. Eastern, give or take. And Apple closed at 154.68, right around 159. Up about $4+. Not very much of a move, specifically on Apple. If I bring in Apple's daily chart here, actually zoom a little further, 154 is where we closed. We're basically right up into here. We're flirting with these previous highs, but as the earnings call goes on, analysts decide to put their 2 cents on it. We could still see this stock, somewhat violently go higher or lower. It remains to be seen. But as of the video, it's not doing a whole lot. So despite the sell-off from 220 down to the 150s, there hasn't been much of a bounce yet. So we'll talk about this stock again tomorrow. And then AMD is another stock that had earnings. You can see the huge rally. This is where we talked about the seasonality effect and how stocks can stop on a dime. That's exactly what happened with AMD. So you saw your stock double, and then in half the time, it lost the double. You lost half the value. It's incredible. And really, since October, November, it's just gone nowhere. Zooming in here, you can see 19.25. We go up here and type in AMD. Right now, it's up pretty decent, about $1.25 or so. So 2057 puts us, I don't know, right about where my little pointer is, essentially back to yesterday's close. Not a whole lot of movement. We need to get out of this range on AMD to see maybe more of a sustained move. Now, I did talk about AMD and the seasonality effect. Well, if you guys remember, and I talked about this last night, Netflix, if I zoom in here, stock literally crashing into December, and then it gets shot out of a cannon. Domino's Pizza entering a window of time right in here where it's historically gone up 100% of the time over a set time frame, meaning in its entire publicly traded history over this set time frame that I'll share with you guys later this week, it's never lost, and it's doing it again. Nowhere, 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 boom, explosion. I call it pop goes the weasel. There goes the volume, there's the pop over the 50-day, and the thing just starts tacking on dollar after dollar after dollar. And then if you look at Xilinx, this was another seasonally bullish stock going nowhere fast, right? And then it explodes higher, gaps up, and then just starts ripping. Huge, huge volume. This one, the stock went up over 20%. And the long calls, and if you use think back, I can show it to you. From here to here, as much as a 285% gain. In fact, I'll do it for you right now. If we do Xilinx and we look at the close on 123, just check this out because it is stunning. Let's go back to 123. If we do March right at the money, they're worth about 540, right? 540, March 90s. Let's pop this over. Watch, the day after earnings. The 90s go from 5 to 16.65. 2 days after earnings. The 90s are now 2080. It is insane how earnings reports have seasonal tendencies. It's incredibly remarkable. It's like, how does a stock go nowhere, nowhere, nowhere? But once you enter that window and then the earnings report is there, historically there's been a bias. There's no guarantee that's ever going to happen again. Seasonality is not a guarantee of anything. But when you start asking yourself, what makes stocks pop and drop? And you look at the volume and you look at the seasonal window, which the big money was pushing something this day, and they were pushing Xilinx. This is the window it typically happens. The results can be extraordinary. So this is what I'm going to do. I told you guys if I had some time. I changed my end of the week around. This is it. I'm going to be traveling in February. There's not going to be these live events. So this Thursday, the 31st, 8 p.m. Eastern, or the next day on Friday, which is actually February 1st, at noon Eastern. Register for one of these at the bottom of the video or in the email you're getting. 500 seats per, we hit max registration, you're going to get locked out. So please try to grab one of these. This is it. The emails, say, who's going to go next? I'll show you that list. I'll show you precisely based on their proven track records who is set to soar and crash. So whatever the Fed announcement is tomorrow, whatever the market wants to do, to us it really doesn't matter because the big money, it's called sector rotation, it's called seasonality, whatever you want to call it. They seemingly flow in and out of stocks, have remarkable tendencies throughout history. And I've been sharing with you the Netflixes, the Domino's, the Xilinxes, and others. And look what happened. Once the volume pops, it's incredible which direction they start going in, which ends up matching seasonal tendencies in the past. So register for that event. Two other stocks to look at here before I get too long-winded. This is Square. I brought you guys this one a couple days ago, week ago. When we got above the 50-day, it started moving higher. I got asked a question about, what would be considered stops, not on Square, but anything. What I like to teach is the red line, the 20-day EMA. We use that as a theoretical trailing stop. A close below there would want to stop me out of any shorter-term bullish positions. And that's what we're getting really close to. So the stock got kicked 10% today. We get below that red line on a closing basis, then I would want nothing to do with it from a bullish perspective. Here's another stock that took it in the keister, if you will, down almost 9%. Allergan target back down at 130, still 10% lower. It's not looking good right now for AGN. So keep in mind, last chance, grab one of these two events, Thursday or Friday, Thursday 8 p.m., Friday noon Eastern. You won't regret it. If you've been there before, you know exactly what I'm going to deliver. Highest probability trade ideas based on historical data. It's absolutely stunning. I look forward to seeing you there, and we'll see if Apple has some more fireworks tomorrow. Take good care, folks. See you later.